Hello, good afternoon, good evening, good morning, maybe even. Everyone, this is Get ResponsLIVE. My name is Jeroen Heerschop, for the people who don't know me. And we have this show every week on Thursday. We talk about Power BI, we talk about Power Apps and Automate, we talk about data, but mostly on Power BI. And today I have as a guest Gopal. Welcome, Gopal, to Get ResponsLIVE. And yeah, you're the founder and CEO of Inforiver. What do you do as with Inforiver? What can you tell me more?
Yeah, no, thanks for having me here, Jerome. And like I said, good afternoon, good evening, good morning to folks all over the world.
Yep.
I'm the founder and CEO of Lumel Technologies, which actually makes specializes in a lot of add-on solution on top of BI platform. I think we are probably the largest player in the world. Actually, we are doing this for about 12 years. And for the first 7 years, we were focused on SAP. So we were doing on SAP business objects. In fact, our first add-on product was on Excelsius. And then we did it for Design Studio, SAP Lumira. And we were the most popular visualization extension in the SAP marketplace. And in 2018, we decided, or we foresaw that Power BI was going to be the most dominant player. And we shifted our focus. And today we have several market-leading offerings. XViz, a lot of you may know, is our offering for XViz Visualization Suite, XViz Project Management Suite for our Gantt chart, Valq for modern visual planning, which won the Financial Modeling Innovation Award in 2020. But Inforiver is something big that, we are a fairly large scale operator. We have close to 170 full-time employees focused only on our add-on solutions, all focused on close to 100 employees are focused on Inforiver alone. And it's a massive scale effort where we had a lot of our assets of serving large SAP customers for like 7-8 years.
Yeah.
And we had a lot of, so we have been working to deliver an integrated story. And that's basically Inforiver. And the Inforiver story is very interesting because we really are looking to do something meaningful to the BI industry. And this is a story I want to tell to the audience is, if we have the luxury of serving the customers for over last 12 years. And I have myself spent my entire career in the BI industry. And what I have noticed over the last 40 years, that if you study the industry, the BI industry started with decision support, and people were doing standard reports like your Crystal reports or your Cognos reports or things like that. And then the world really wanted the true self-service was like, I wanted the power of ad hoc analysis, more like a pivot analysis. So that's where your SAP Web Intelligence came into play. And but the market moved to something bigger. They wanted self-service drill down analysis. They wanted visualization. That's where you saw Tableau, Click, and Spotfire getting really popular. And Power BI was a late entrant to this space, but they really executed very well, and we are the dominant provider. Now you obviously have
they catched up quite fast, although they were relatively late.
It's an amazing how they started late and how they executed phenomenal. And you have had actually SAS for statistical analysis, actually one of the oldest players. SAS has been in the market for, 40, 50 years. So people always, like, you want to do planning, you go to Hyperion, you go to BPC. And then for forecasting, sales forecasting, you go by Anaplan. So, and then you have your AI and ML. So what has happened is the market for data has been highly fragmented, very, very fragmented, because within an organization, you buy 5 to 6 different tools for the journey of the data. So you create natural information silos. And every new vendor wants to focus on the highest degree of intelligence. But
yeah, and it is interesting, yeah. Inforiver, because the picture that you just showed, Inforiver has for every step
correct.
an
So
sort
what
of
is interesting is,
solution for Power BI as an expansion, and that's what you're going to show us in a
yes,
minute. Some examples of that. And by the way, if you're watching this and if you have any questions, just use the commenting. Please say also hello, because we otherwise I can't see who's watching. So please say hello and maybe where you're coming from or where you're watching from, because this is a more international broadcast than we do normally, because mostly it's in the Netherlands that we focused. So let me know where you're watching from. It's cool to see. You're going to show us in a minute some cool features that Inforiver has to offer for Power BI. And maybe before we dive into that, is it a custom visual? Is it how would you call it? Is it an app?
it is a very good question. I like to call this sort of a, I don't even like to say it is a product, it is a platform. The reason for that is it is almost 8 products in one. If you are familiar with SAP Business Objects, from analysis for Office all the way to your Lumira storyboards, we cover on a bottom-up approach. We cover, and then our Value is more like a top-down planning product. And today there is going to be a sneak preview of our Inforiver charts, which we are launching later this month. I'm going to give, which is very, very dominant in the visualization and storytelling space. But the one important thing I wanted to share is the most dominant data product in the world is Excel. You go buy an ERP, you go buy a planning tool, download to Excel is the most popular product across the world. And that's why Excel is the most used software in the world. And what we have tried to do is we have tried to use Excel as an inspiration, because while Power BI was executing very, very well on a lot of aspects, even in Power BI, I think Excel, download to Excel is the most popular. So what we thought was, while we deliver all these broad set of use cases, we want to make sure the simplicity and the flexibility of Excel is honored. If otherwise the product, it doesn't matter how good the product is, it was not going to be successful. And so from doing a paginated report to doing visualization in cell pivot charts, to doing pivot analysis, to with data governance and audit, that's why people don't like Excel, but that's why people will like Inforiver. Is it has full data governance. And we studied the market on Power BI, and we felt a lot of customers were intimidated by DAX, and there was a huge gap on, while DAX is very, very powerful, it was not for end users, it was more for IT authors. So we try to make our product in a no-code manner, and then customers were asking, I don't have a solution to do edits on the data that I want to input my budgets and forecast. I'm being driven to another tool. I want to put in my comments, but I'm driven to a CRM system. And so we try to listen to a lot of customers over the last 2-3 years, provide commenting collaboration, ability to do the subscription in a very innovative way. And then the write back, hopefully I can show a little bit of write back, is the most popular. And we are making huge investments into the write back capability. And our vision is we provide a true integrated platform that the industry doesn't have today, where you can do BI use cases, you can do corporate performance use cases, you can do enterprise performance use cases, and you can enter comments like CRM system. So if a salesperson is going to see a customer, he can see, okay, what was my actuals? What are we forecasting? And what was my last visit comment? Okay, and then after the meeting, he can even update right there. Today, he's sending it out in a spreadsheet, or he's going to go into multiple system. There is no integrated view in the market. And that's the vision to which we are working, to drive end user consumption.
You have different editions, sorry to interrupt you. You have different editions, and you see directly here what you have. Can you give a little bit of an indication for a company of an average size? how does that work? Do you have to buy it per license, or are
So you
the
buy
model?
per user, and one of the things we have done is we have simplified our pricing. Where before we used to have a separate tier for author and end user, and we have now removed it. I think the pricing is on our website. You go, so most customers just go try from our website. So you go to inforiver.com, try it, and our visual is Power BI certified now, so you can download from App Source also. It's completely free in desktop. So one of the things is our Inforiver, for the full functionality, you can use it for free in desktop. So we align with the Power BI strategy.
Is that the
And
standard edition that you can
all
download?
all the editions are free in the desktop.
All right.
The only thing is that when you try to share or
Yeah.
collaborate, or the export to Excel and export to PDF,
Yeah.
you have to publish to be able to do that. But if you want to do report, if you want to do as a single user, the
Yeah.
personal edition
So you
is
can
pretty
try it
much
out for free and see all the functionality. Oh, I like that.
And as
Yeah.
a personal user, you can keep using it on the stuff.
Yeah.
And
Clear.
constantly listening to the customer and trying to fine tune the pricing. So we have already removed 2 tiers, and we are doing now the standard edition.
Shall we go into a first example what you can do with it? Because I always like to see the demo.
Absolutely.
Shall we move into that?
Got it. Yeah.
If you're okay,
So,
yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And
Great.
let me come over. Can you all see the Power BI?
Yeah,
okay.
well, I see your Power BI. Yeah.
So the way Inforiver works is it works through the custom visual platform. You install the app. Right now, I have them all installed. You can go to the app source and grab. Now, I like to tell the story that this is our Value, which is one of our very popular visual. This is our Inforiver that I'm going to be showing, and I will give you a sneak preview of our Inforiver charts. And this is our Gantt chart. What we are truly building is our Inforiver is think of Excel for data. Think of our Inforiver for charts as your PowerPoint for data. And think of our Gantt chart as your project management for, more from an analytics perspective. So we are trying to sell a productivity suite, our own productivity suite that is designed for data and analytics and visualization and storytelling is basically our vision. Now, you install the app, and now you can use it in small screen. You can there is no hard and fast rule, and you can use it in a full canvas. If you want an Excel like experience, you use it in a full canvas. And I am probably the first one that I like to demonstrate is the most popular use case of Inforiver is the financial reporting use case, because the first and foremost, what everybody love about Inforiver is the user experience of what we deliver. We deliver a natural pagination where you don't have to go build a paginated report. You can do Excel like zoom in, zoom out. You can do that, and the most important thing is you have all the Excel like layout. You can change it to a table layout.
Funny, Gopal, because I saw this zooming functionality. I think it was released today in the Power BI service, that for the first time you can also zoom in and zoom out there, right? So
Yes,
nice to see that some of the features are now being applied because it makes sense.
And this Excel style formatting, and I'm sure a lot of customers love. I'm expecting Power BI also to deliver something like that. The very important one is we invested heavily in unified formatting. Our product is IBCS certified as well, and one of the things is how the numbers are automatically formatted to millions, or how the numbers are automatically formatted to the nearest thousands. You have a very robust conditional formatting, as probably more richer than Excel or any product in the world. This is 7-8 years of matured conditional formatting engine. You have a one-click visualization of, let's say I want to do boom. That's it. And you can turn this into a lollipop chart. You can turn this into a waterfall chart. Everything is one click. Continuous waterfall, everything. And these are all... and then you want to do, if I have a second measure, you can do integrated variance chart. You can do spark lines. Everything is a single click user experience with our product. Now you can do top-in, visual top-in. You can send the total to top or bottom, or you can have outlined subtotals. Oh, our product also has a built-in cascading slicer. I will come to that. But the reason why people love Inforiver is the ability to do visual level calculations. And that's where we are eliminating a lot of the complexity of DAX and making end user operate like they are in Excel. So a typical example I like to do is row level calculation is very, very hard in any BI tool. Only in Excel. That's why people always download. So if I do a calculated row and I simply type in, I'm sure I've done a lot of demos you may have seen, but what I wanted to just to do, maybe I will keep it short. Sorry, I think cost of goods. And so you see how we can do Excel like, and then I can even select like this. You don't have to type it in.
Oh, like, really recognizes the cells also.
Yes.
Okay.
And,
nice.
And then you come to home and then you say this is a percentage. It has Excel like context as well.
Yeah. And you can always edit it because I see this little pencil next to it. You can always go back to the
Now the beauty of it is I can reorder it. I can reorder it. I can insert a static row like a shares outstanding. And since a lot of you have seen a lot of the maybe demos, I'm not going to do it. But the one that is most important for you all to recognize is it comes with a full audit. So I inserted one, and then I have a full audit of what is done there. You see, this is what we did. And this is the data source we assigned. So it has full tracking. You can enter a comment. You can do all of that.
Yeah.
Our product has column level calculations as well. Same way I did a row level calculation. Let's say I want to do a running total. That's it. So row reordering, I don't want to do it. So I will probably keep it like that. But you can do percentage contribution to parent, overall ranking, insert formula.
It looks a little bit like Excel, but some things are even going further than Excel.
Correct.
Like
this is exactly what I'm going to demonstrate right now. This is exactly what I'm going to demonstrate. Some cool features that Excel cannot do. So let's say I want to do planning simulation. I come to my time dimension. Let's say let me keep it like that. Let me do my manual input, and I'm going to do my 2022 budget. And you can actually enter numbers the way you think. So let's say I want to do 1.5 billion. I enter, and I can say use the last year's actual as the reference. So it will use, and then you see we did this and we did this. Now the beauty of it is you can go and interview each of the cost center managers, and they say, hey, you know what, we can do 200 million more. Maybe our cost of goods may go up by 150 million. Maybe our IT expense.
I like that you can add this unit of measure, that you can say 25M instead of the
scaled numbers. Zeros. It's called scaled numbers.
Yeah, very nice.
This is one approach. Now the second approach is, hey, this is very rosy. Let's do a what if analysis. And here you say, you know what, cost of goods is more likely to be a little bit higher. Our revenue cannot be this much higher. We have to going to do our salary costs are going to be, labor costs are going up. It's going to be higher. Our cost to train people will have to be higher. So you are able to quickly adjust when, I have a forecast now. How do I set this as forecast? I come to set version, and then I say, this is my plan. This is my forecast. And then I got my one-click variance analysis. So you have all the 5 IBCS table templates. So we fully automated IBCS standards, which means all the table templates are fully automated. Single-click user experience. You can make it very visual. You can do a waterfall template. You can actually do a lot of that. Now,
can you also delete columns again, so that you say, for example, I don't care about the percentage, for example, versus last year?
Absolutely. This is the beauty of wonderful question. And I say, I only care about my variance percentages. I don't care about, I just want this. So you can do that as well.
Cool. If people have questions, by the way, because it's a little bit quiet still, but if you have questions, don't hesitate to ask them. There are no stupid questions, because then Gopal can right away answer them. So
yeah.
But
and the beauty of this is, you could enter. Let's say I come to my, let's say my gross revenue, and I could enter a cell level. Will be slightly lower due to plant
so this is the
closing.
commenting, right?
Yes,
The notes
this is
the
notes.
commenting.
Notes and annotation. This is notes and annotation. This commenting that I will show is a collaborative commenting.
Oh yeah.
So what I have here is a notes and annotation. It is non-collaborative. If in the enterprise edition, we provide collaborative commenting, and I will also do that.
All right.
So let's say when I try to do the collaborative comment, it will ask me. So the enterprise edition is the only one that uses a database and a server.
Yeah.
Okay? So it would make us to do a Windows AD authentication. And once I come in, it recognizes it is me who is entering the comment. And now here I can say, right? And then I could even tag my other employees.
Yeah.
If you are working for me, or you could tag my other employees.
So in a sense,
it is collaborative commenting.
It's the same way you would comment in Power BI, but the key difference is here I'm putting it on a specific
at the cell level.
Cell level, yeah.
And you can have comments column as well. So you can put in a notes column, and you could put in something like a row level.
Row.
Row level note as well. Now,
and you were, where is this then stored? Because you're saying this is the enterprise version. There's a database. How does it work?
On the premium edition, you just save the Power BI report, and let's say we say today is May 12th. I save it. That's it. So if you have edit rights, this one gives you an advantage to save it without any what I call database or server. So you don't need any database or server. You can just save it. Now you want to save the comments. I'm going to show you. You can actually do the write back. You can show that. I'm going to show you that as well. Now, when I do that, export to Excel and export to PDF, I want to demonstrate that. I'm going to do an export to PDF. Our product, you can do an export to PDF as well. Highly with visualizations. You see the quality of the output with the footnote. So this can be made pagination. I'm going to show you how you can build paginated report in less than a minute. And you can, when I do the export to Excel, even though this has IPCA standards, we have figured out how to do it.
Yeah.
And I'm actually showing you, it's coming on my other screen. I may have to shift screens. So just bear with me. You can see the export to Excel comes with the notes and comments and with the formatting, with the expand collapse. This is like 1 or 2 notches over pretty much any product in the market, not just, even if I have chart elements, we can convert that to numbers and we can actually do that.
Yeah.
So I showed the couple of key export items. Now, I will show you how easy our write back is. So now that you have seen me, now for the purposes of demonstration, I'm going to just make it to numbers. So it's easier for everybody to understand. And the reason why everybody likes our product is, even our PDF, you see, I can send an ad hoc subscription. That's another beauty of it. So I can actually create a paginated report and then I can send it to people at custom schedules. And you can also do one-time ad hoc scheduling right from the visual. So I have logged in and I can say, I can put in my name and it would come an email, or I can create a schedule. And so this is more of, think of it as, I have this page, I want to go to this person. I have this page, I want to go to this person, with the page breaks, honoring the row level security. You can have custom frequencies, and look at, we give you 3 different formats. You can send it as a PDF, you can send it as an Excel, you can send it as a high quality image. So you can send it directly to your Teams channel, SharePoint, Google, OneDrive, all of these are done. we provide pretty robust enterprise admin capabilities, the user rights, and we give you a lot of lineages. All of that, it is there. Yeah. The thing that I want to come back to is the write back. So now that I have entered my comment, now that I have entered my budget and database forecast, I want to write back to a database. Now, this is one area where we are making significant investments, and we are working on few things where you can even input text columns, basically like who approved, like a date approved, validated columns. So that is something that we hope to finish by end of May. And once that is done, this is really like a semi CRM system. You can enter budgets, forecast, create a little bit of a workflow and capture, and you are able to say which column you want to write back. You want only the changes, you want to exclude subtotals, aggregation with comments, or you can even put a filter, and you are able to configure a destination. And we provide robust set of destination a customer could choose from. Now, I will show you another demo where we are doing a live, where I'm actually doing an Azure SQL live write. I can do it to Snowflake. But for the purposes, I'm going to use OneDrive because that's the easiest to do right now. Snowflake is also less than a minute. I select a folder and I configure a destination. Now, we could do multiple destinations as well. And when I come over here to settings, the destination is configured. You can even do collaboration. Our write back, you can do it in read mode also. The comment in read mode, write back in read mode, you can do that as well. And I encourage you on the Inforiver website, we have a webinar where we did a detailed write back where we are doing the demonstration. We also provide a webhook in case you want to integrate what you do with the Power Apps or other endpoint destinations. We also have a robust security framework where only this set of users can actually do the write back. We can also configure that. Now, if I do the write back, it's pretty simple. It recognizes that this is a brand new report, so it's going to create a new version. I'm going to show you another report and write back in progress, and you have a log, and it should fairly finish, and then you get an access. So
in this case, it's now saving it to a OneDrive.
It's saving to a OneDrive, but I also want to, I think it is taking some time. I don't know, maybe I should have used a staging version, but I will show you. Maybe I'll pause on this and I will show you. I have another demo that I wanted to show you here. And
so the use case of this is you can add, for example, a planning. You can save it to the same data source as where your actuals are coming from. You should have the table maybe, but first you need to set up the table, I assume, in the data source.
Yes,
right?
Yeah, this is where I pulled up another
demo.
demo.
Back to it directly from Power BI.
Yeah, that is exactly why I pulled up this demo. Yeah. This one, you see how we are doing the write back table. So we write it to a write back table and we have them joined with the key. The write back table comes from a direct query. And now I have our Inforiver charts here. Okay. Yeah. Watch what I'm doing. I have it logged on. I don't like that US is twice as much as international for the purposes of the demo. Let's bring the US sales down. How can it be more? Let's do it. And I'm going to hit save. And it knows it's an existing report, so it's updating an existing version. So it's creating a new series and it's going and writing to an Azure SQL. And guess what? All the charts, data change detection, now international is as much as US. Live, write back, and then coming back. And
we have shown this in the past when we were using Power Apps. So to have a Power App there. But with your solution, it looks more direct, because when you first you need to set it up, but when it is set up, you can really just like in Excel change values and in the visual itself. And in Power App, you have to resort to a new form. Although it talks with each other, that's nice, but it is a different thing. It's an app where you type it in. So this is more direct.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Cool.
so for some reason, this is still, I want to get a
Doesn't
show.
matter.
Yeah, no, I think because I'm using a development version of the software, maybe I should have used
No problem.
the
It works
actual
in the
one.
other situation, so if you have set it up correctly, it works.
Yeah, I want to talk about paginated reports and some of the key use cases of paginated reports, because a lot of people are thinking, how do I build a paginated report? And
Yeah.
I want to also show you how our product does automatic. So let's say you just assign the measures and we compute variances automatically. So as long as you assign here, you come to manage columns, all the variances are automatically created for you.
You don't have to create DAX measures, but it is already there out of directly.
Yeah, and you get an option to customize the column widths. You get an option.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And you get a robust set of templates. So if I want to make it look like Excel in Power BI, just one click. So you get an Excel-like appearance. I want a financial statement like appearance, like a clean white. You can do that as well. But the thing that I'm most excited about is one-click IBCS templates, where all the IBCS table templates are fully automated. You just assign and it is created. Now this is T01. Pretty much no vendor can actually do it. Where if I'm comparing Q2 to cumulative, that's it, one click. And if I wanted to do a visual representation of that, I can do the same thing. Q4 to this, and I can come and then I can do a comparison of that. The T3 is the table template where you can actually do the variances in a numerical format. See how all these are done pretty, and we can do T04, T05. Everything is a single click user experience.
It's quite fast, Gopal. It changes fast. It applies the new
that is the
layout.
advantage of doing everything in the browser, visual calculations, visual. That's one advantage. On an aggregated data sets, it's going to be pretty slick and fast.
Yeah.
A lot of our from ragged hierarchy handling to a lot of the properties, from inversion of signs of doing PNL, all the properties are sitting in the display. If you come, you can see. So you don't have to go and hunt for the format pane. You can basically, if you want to see this in a dark theme, it's this easy. It's this easy. Okay. So the product is pretty comprehensive in that manner that you can basically do, and you can even show values in rows if you wanted to. One of the features there, you wanted multiple measures in the rows, you can actually do. You want to show negative sign in parentheses, you just come and go to. Everything is a single click. That's why we call it a no-code user experience. But the thing that most customers love is no-code pagination. So if you come to design and I want to create a page per subregion, that's it. It's done. So it's 6 pages. Now you want to create a page per region, it's done. If you want to create a page per category, it's done. And if you want to create a page per quarter, it's done. And you pretty much, that's the beauty of the product. I can actually create by category. It would create an extra space like a Word section break. So this is like a no-code paginated report that you can actually do as well. And mainly my request is there is a lot of effort that has gone in, and it's a fairly very mature enterprise class product. And if somebody downloads and tries for 15 minutes, they just fall in love with it. So my request to the audience is just give it a try. Try it out. And it's a significant productivity improvement, and it's
licensed by Microsoft also, and I think you mentioned also
Microsoft did a dedicated Microsoft did a dedicated blog featuring as a partner innovation on Feb 11th, and
I'll try to put the link also in the comments. Hopefully it works.
So do that, and I think what I would like to do is this is only Excel for data, but we are working on something much more transformative.
A new thing,
Yeah.
So
And
again, if people have questions, just ask them. But now you're going to show a new feature, right? For the
yes,
PowerPoint of data, as you
correct.
called it before.
Yes.
Now, I'm curious.
Okay.
And when is this planned to be released?
So our launch webinar is going to be on June 1. So in
Oh,
about 3-1, we are going to set up a launch webinar, and we probably will keep it in beta for 30 days. The product itself is done, and the charts, and when you see it, you will see. But we are working on perfecting the storytelling user experience, and I will show you what I mean. And before I show the product, I want to show you our slides first, because this is very, very important to the industry. Can you see my slides?
Yeah, I see your PowerPoint.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So one of the things, just like we talked about how people download to Excel, while we talk about visualization, customers end up downloading the visualization, putting it in PowerPoint, putting in annotations and commentary and all that. We always felt it's almost like, so we want to create PowerPoint for data. At the same time, we wanted something that is truly no code, where an end user can do it. You just give them a good data set, good model data set, and they can build something like that. This is imagine people think Power BI, they can do something like this in Power BI. They go to PowerPoint, they go to, say, maybe Tableau, or maybe data wrapper, something that is very, very good. So if you look at a lot of journalists and newspapers, they use something else. So what we wanted to do was combine the power of no code, multi-measure, multi-dimensional visualization. It's a pretty very advanced concept I'm going to demonstrate, but I wanted to tell you about storytelling, because there are several exciting, just like Inforiver is very, very broad and very, very deep, Inforiver charts is the same way. So imagine I have a storytelling experience like this. Can you imagine we doing this in Power BI, where we are able to put in a nice textual narrative thing, and we have the same concept, like very thin toolbar, and I will show you live. And you could see how we are able to annotate and tell a story. And I'm giving you various different examples that you typically see in a newspaper, and with small multiples as well. And how you are able to take actuals and projected and use the colors, the fonts, and how you are able to tell a story. We are pretty excited about what we are bringing to the market. And for the I'm going to give a sneak preview, because I want to save it for our big launch webinar. And
I understand.
I think how do I put it? Just bear with me.
Yeah.
And I think I just want
Because
to make
I
sure
wonder, these annotations you have added.
You save it to the report. You save it to the report.
Yeah, but it is you type it yourself, and you can position it anywhere you want
Yes,
to.
I'm going to do it right now. Let's look at it live.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
That you want to show.
How is this? How is this? How is this different to any visualization in the industry? Let's look at it.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I like to do, it's no fault. I mean, I can take a simple Power BI as an example, and Power BI is obviously very good and fast. So now, as a customer, I want to have my category, and I want to have my measure. Okay.
Yeah.
I get a simple column chart. Now, let's say as a customer, I want to compare it to my plan, or because if you look at the industry or any business, they always compare something to something. They trend it over time, and they want to find out where the exceptions look at it.
Yeah.
Now I want to put a plan. I don't have, so I can put it here. I have only one measure value. So now what happens is, it doesn't know what to do with it. So it tries to tell you a story like this. Now, is this the right story? Now the user needs to understand visualization, because I'm actually comparing. So he needs to go and select probably a different chart to be able to compare my actuals. And so the end user needs to have the knowledge to be able to do it. Now that's where it becomes more of an IT authored, even though Power BI is self-service, it's more the power user or IT authored dashboards. Now, what if I wanted to break this down by region? Obviously, you have the small multiples, you put it in the small multiples. This is a typical. Now, I want to have a narration on why something is doing. I have to take a text box and I have to do it. Now, look at it on what we are trying to do.
Yeah.
This is a true multi-measure, multi-dimensional visualization and no code. And this is IBCS certified as well. And watch, I'm going to do the same thing and put the subcategory and putting the actuals. Now, I have an option to put it as a plan here. So it automatically does the variance. So it's smart enough to know, hey, you are looking to do in variance. Now, before I go do the small multiple, I'm going to show you the storytelling aspects of the product. So I have the pin, I have the toolbar, and you get 40 or maybe even more than 40 different chart types, combo charts, stack charts, everything. When I assign that thing, I'll explain to you. But what I wanted to show you is we do what is called as dynamic deviation. This is fully automatic. Let's say I want to see the deviation between max and min.
Yeah.
That's it. Okay.
Yeah.
And dynamic, I have an average line automatically, so you know which ones are doing better than the average. This one is contributing to the most variance. I want to tell a story. You click on the annotations and you select the data point. Why variance is high for juices. Okay, or you can even actually do the like this. You can actually even reference the data point, by the way. So these are what we are trying to perfect, but I wanted to explain. So you assign the data point and you can do it. And you save the report. Now you have a data point annotation. You can have a canvas point annotation. You have a lot of options. Like, for example, if I come here, you can change the style to text only, numbers only. You can rotate the text. You can do all of the capability. And this is where the product is ready, but this is where we are trying to perfect. You can actually do ranking. You can do. But let me show you another beautiful thing about it is I can change this to a bar chart and I can change it to a waterfall chart. Everything is a single click, no code, true no code user experience. Yep. Now I'm going to show you something very interesting.
Yeah.
I'm going to make it a small multiple. I'm going to put it into a corner. And this one, look at the, let me just do an integrated variance because we are trying to do a variance. So you can see as an end user, I clearly know, and I don't know if you're noticing the small multiple, it is a ranked small multiple, which has a kind of a varied row based on the size of the.
Yeah, I see it, yeah. The bottom are smaller, less high than the top ones.
Yes, yes. Now, this is not it. This is truly a multidimensional small multiple. Let's say I want to put my time dimension.
Yeah.
And I have, obviously, I'm going to take a little more real estate. And you can see I have, I can have my Q1, Q2, Q3. I have my various regions. And I have a scroll. Right? I have it. But what we are giving to the end user is, so obviously you can annotate on each of the data points as well. One of the biggest value of our product is you can do all the annotation. And when you do a typical export, I'm going to do the export. This is another game-changing innovation where you put in all your annotations and everything. Even though you cannot see Q4, you can only see 2 regions. And when you look at our export.
Yeah, it does show everything. Yeah.
And look at the quality of the export. And imagine that you put the story and people can now, instead of slides, they have a contextual, multi-dimensional aspect of how the business is doing. And an end user can do it. They don't have to. So you look at the amount of productivity we drive in this. Now,
impressive, Gopal, because indeed you can do everything in Power BI itself and then export it. Because I know that a lot of people are
in one click
fiddling around in PowerPoint to do that. Yeah.
So the thing that we have worked very, very hard is this product has, I don't want to reveal everything. There is just so many things. I want to show you, basically, just bear with me. You can expand it, but I wanted to tell you the big difference is we have a lot of themes. We have a strict IBCS theme. So IBCS has no concept of access and legends and label. So we have a strict IBCS rule. And if I apply the strict IBCS rule, this will be strict IBCS. No access, everything strict. So we created a variation of IBCS. So we built an IBCS JavaScript library from ground up, basically. And then we said, okay, let's, one of the things is IBCS was wonderful. We love IBCS. But when we interviewed a lot of customers, they still defaulted to Power BI theme. So we gave them the Power BI theme. And when we looked at why they liked Power BI theme is we felt all they needed was access, legends, and labels. So we used IBCS library as a base. If a customer is an IBCS fan, they can use it. If they wanted a small modification, so now we are able to give them the access, the legends, and the labels. So we feel by giving various customization options, we can drive a lot of adoption and promote standards.
Like it. No, I believe that IBCS is perfect for a lot of reasons, for a lot of use cases, but to have the freedom to have a little bit your own flavor, because I can imagine that y-axis indeed are useful to have in some cases. You allow it,
So
that's cool.
and I kind of wanted to end by saying this is also a full screen user experience. You can use it in full screen, and you can export it. You can do ranking. You can do stacked. I didn't show you stacked. You can come here. You have all the stack chart type. You have clustered chart types. It's a like a lot of different. You have combination chart types. It's pretty robust visualization library. We built it ground up in a no-code manner, so end user can build and they can write their stories. And you saw some of the stories. And we are extremely, just like how Inforiver has captivated a lot of business end users, we think a lot of the visualization and storytelling fans will now adopt Power BI. So we feel we can drive adoption of Power BI, because today a lot of people look at it, oh, Power BI is not good for this, not good for that. So I think we are pretty excited about the kind of innovations that we are bringing to the market.
Now, I can imagine. I'm also excited to see more of it. We can talk for hours, I think, on your on the product, and it looks very impressive. I'm gonna try it out myself also. And thank you very much for showing this all. It was I have to look it back, because it was a lot of nice use cases that you have shared. So thank you for that, for your time to share that with us. So on your website, you can or you can also find it in the
app source,
app source. So if you look for Inforiver, you can just try it out there. Oh, there's one question. Yay! Finally, question. Now then we can. We're always happy to. So how do you add those highlighting? Because in the PowerPoint you showed some previews of what you can do. And you don't want to give everything away, I know. Pasi is wondering, okay, this highlighting boxing.
So I think it's a fair question. We have a lot of annotation properties in settings. So they're all there. A lot of different things are there, and I myself have to get trained on it, but you can do all of that. So in fact, we have a lot of PBX files that we have that I can actually show you. Maybe I can open one of them and I can actually show you.
If you want, please.
So
it has to do with the formatting of the annotation.
Correct.
And how you do it. So it's not drawing squares like
no.
Maybe
so
wondering.
It's a fully it's a fully integrated user experience, and even I'm trying to learn from my team. So this is something that we are working very hard to perfect it. So that's why one of the reasons is that annotation and storytelling, while our charting product is all ready. So we are actually working on, so just bear with me.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to see. yeah, you could see some of the things that we are doing. I don't know. I'm just not sure. But I can set up a meeting and you can say this is a measure-driven label. I'm trying to show too many things. This is measure-driven label.
Yeah,
You can
we're going off script here. That's okay because it's a new feature and
yeah. So we are
it's
introducing.
formatting.
We are closing a lot of visualization gaps in the industry with the top end and annotation, and so I have to find the exact example, but we can do it. And I'm happy to set up a meeting with Pasi and and I will actually walk through that stuff.
Yeah. Now, it's quite impressive, or very impressive, to see all the things you can tweak. And indeed, it's when you started, it's really an Excel-like experience. So, yeah, I think a lot of people will appreciate it. Are you worried that Microsoft will implement some of these functionalities in the core product, like commenting, for example?
It's a very good question, but I would be shocked if they don't do it. And
if they don't do it,
if they don't do it, I would be shocked. And see, we as a company we have been doing this for 12 years, and I'm sure Power BI will catch up with some of the capabilities or whatever it's absolutely. But what Microsoft has a different approach. Microsoft is a model-based authoring experience, so everything goes to the model. So they have already gone with that approach. We have gone to a report-based or a visual-based authoring experience. So the experience is always going to be different. While so my feeling is the way I look at it is Power BI will address more of a platform capabilities and more of a model-based user experiences very, very well. We will do more of an end-user-based experiences very well. And it is very healthy because we have to continuously innovate. And that's one of the reasons why we are basically the largest player, and we have been the most successful in terms of this depth and breadth of that. And we will continue to innovate. Like, for example, everybody thought the Inforiver, the Excel for data, but nobody thought we can match like a PowerPoint for data, completely a new offering that's going to captivate the audience and bring a new set of end users to Power BI. So and imagine when we come with the same no-code approach for ValQ and all that. So we are coming from all different directions to become the true productivity.
You put a lot of time already in there, and it works great. So good luck with the launch of the new the PowerPoint in Power BI functionality, and thanks again for sharing. We're gonna close this episode. We are of course back next week, and next week we have an interesting session because we always like to also compare different solutions, and although we say here versus, it's more we want to compare Click and Power BI and to see what do they have in common, what does Click do differently than Power BI. And we have a nice guest, Madelon. She's working with both, so she's the good person to share that. So next week at 4 o'clock we're back. Then again in Dutch. But I'm looking forward to that also. We did previous episodes also with Google Data Studio and Tableau before at the end of last year. So now we're gonna cover Click and compare them. So looking forward to that also. For everyone, have a nice day. And thank you for watching. And maybe see you in the next episode. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, Gopal. Thank you.